Welcome to the nightclub, guys. I'm your host, Night Wrencher, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make diamond plate for your hot rod Firewall. So it's been raining like crazy these last couple days, and I just have not been able to get any work done. Haven't been able to actually sand anything down, haven't been able to paint anything. So I just figured I'd get some trim work done and go ahead and get myself some nice shiny panels for my firewall. The project wasn't actually too difficult. I think I completed it in about 2 hours or so. After it was all said and done, I did, as you guys will see, have to go out and buy a jigsaw because cutting panels with a circular saw is probably not the smartest thing you can do. You're probably going to end up with a couple missing fingers. So first off, the most important step is to actually make a cardboard template as accurately as possible. You don't know how wide or how far or how curvy you're going to need the dimensions until you actually have something in front of you. So making a cardboard template is definitely a must. The next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and mark the template on your diamond plate. Here's something tricky about that though, is that you're going to be marking on the reverse side, so you have to keep in mind that the diamond plate will get flipped over. So right when you're going to mark it, make sure you realize which way is the right side and which side is the left side, so you don't get yourself confused. Step 3 is obviously to cut your template out. Again, don't lose any fingers. The best blade I was able to use was actually a blade that I bought from Home Depot. It's specifically designed to cut through aluminum. I tried cutting this with a carbon blade off of a die grinder, but it didn't really work. The problem is that because it's a carbon blade and it rubs up against the aluminum, what'll happen is it'll melt the edge of the aluminum, and so after you're done cutting it, you're going to need to do a little bit of trim work to the edge to get it to look nice. And with the blade that I bought from Home Depot, that wasn't actually necessary. The next step you're gonna have to do is measure the safe distance away from the firewall to the edge. What I mean by that is the metal should be riveted through several sheets of metal, and the reason for that is this is going to be your firewall, so you're gonna want as much support as possible, and if you can attach it in the same or similar locations as your existing firewall, that'll make reinforcing everything much better and safer in the long run. Now the next step is definitely to mark your holes. Easiest way I was able to do this is from the farthest corners. After you got the corners out, put the holes in the diamond plate first, and then after you have the holes, only drill 2 holes out of the holes in your truck's or car's firewall. And then after you got those, make sure to secure those, and then after those are secured, you can go ahead and drill out the rest. The reason for that is if you drill out all the holes all at once as you're securing some of the holes, the panel will either stretch or move or warp, and you're not going to be able to align all of them at the same time. So what you're going to want to do is you're probably going to want to go one at a time, start with one end and then work the other end. That way you know it's straight, and then you do all the ones in the middle after. That's not too difficult. It does become a little bit more tedious, but the overall result becomes easier again in the long run. And step 9, you're going to have to repeat every single step that I just told you guys on the opposite side. If you guys are doing one sheet all the way across, more power to you. That is extremely difficult. If you have AC on the passenger side, you're going to want to make the panel first and then trace out the hole for the AC and then reinstall the panel, hoping that you clear all of the AC holes. I'm going to be deleting the AC out of this truck, so I don't have too much to worry about in terms of that. Like I said, the jigsaw actually helped out a ton when making bends and cutting it in a nice, clean and crisp fashion. The blade you're going to want to use for the jigsaw is also a pretty coarse tip that you can also buy at Home Depot. I think I bought like a 5-pack for like $10 or something. They're not expensive, and that pretty much wraps everything up. You're not going to really need to do much else except for that. Now, how much did something like this actually cost me? Well, to tell you the truth, if it wasn't for the jigsaw and the blades that I bought, it would have actually cost me $0 because I already had the rivets, I already had the diamond plate, I already had the drill, I already had bits, I already have. The only thing I didn't have is the jigsaw. which is not that big of a deal. So if I was to price this out, I do remember that the sheets of aluminum, they were about $160 a piece for a 4x8 sheet of aluminum. I paid about $8 for the rivets. I paid $25 for the rivet gun. I also paid $40 for the drill and $60 for the jigsaw, $10 for the blades, and then like $5 for the 1/4-inch drill bit that I use to drill out all the holes. So that puts us to a grand total of $313. Now remember that is including every single tool that I used and every material that I also used. So realistically, you can do this for about half that, if not less, depending on how cheap you can find a diamond plate. Well, that about wraps up this video. Thank you guys all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please like this video so the algorithm will like me. Glad to see you all again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Night Wrencher, out.